I'm Gamer for the Nation's One Pyramid, and I want to tell you why I believe that the Wii U will be the most used console of this generation and maybe even the next generation. The reason why I believe this, well, before I get into that, let's go back to what the Wii presented. Now, as you may know, the Wii is one of the most highest selling consoles of the big three, especially of this current generation. Why? Because it had a low price point. That's one. Two, I mean, it was made to be, I guess, for the casual gamer or anybody. I mean, it was innovative in its own right, with the Wii remotes and everything being a game that you can actually swing and all that stuff, and it started certain trends that the other consoles did not do. But it didn't attract hardcore gamers. Hardcore gamers tend to lean towards Xbox and PlayStation when it comes to actual, hardcore games, because Wii U isn't really made for that, that competitive side to gaming. So this time around, I'm sorry, Wii, but this time around with the Wii U, Nintendo, I guess, learning from the little mistakes they made in the past, has created a console that will simply not only sell high, but it will be actually used this time around. And let me explain this whole concept of used. The Wii U, though it sold high, it wasn't used. I mean, it wasn't even played that much by gamers, like hardcore gamers of that, like true gamers. Like, I'm not talking about a couple of people who want to throw it on, kids, or maybe the casual game. I mean, like, of course people played it, and I'm not saying it's not getting any play at all, but most people, and let me know if you disagree, but let's say you're a hardcore gamer, you have an Xbox or a PlayStation, you bought a Wii, and first couple of weeks you played it, whatever, you play a couple of games, but you don't touch it no more. You don't even really buy games for it no more, unless it's one of the top games or first party games such as Mario or Donkey Kong or Zelda or Wii Fit, Why? Because those are the really only games that you find appealing that's different that the Wii provides. I mean, think about it like this, right? If you have Call of Duty on the Wii, especially due to the fact that it was inferior as far as the big three, Call of Duty on the Wii and Call of Duty on the Xbox or the PlayStation, and you have all three systems, what are the odds are you going to be playing the Call of Duty on the Wii more than the ones you play on the Xbox and the PlayStation? It's really slim. Why? Because the first mistake we made was they had the friend code. The friend code was ridiculous. It was pretty much like giving your social security number just so you can make a friend. And I understood why. Their whole point was to make it safe for, kids, so we get it, you get it, but the whole point was to make it safe for kids and all that stuff like that. But then it got complicated even more so when, even though you had a friend who, you went through the whole social security number exchange and everything, and then all of a sudden with certain games, you had a brand new one just for that specific game, just to play online. You had to enter a totally different number. And that was kind of like, what's the point? And then, and mind you, I played Wii U online. And there are people actually who play online, but at the same time, it's a different feel. And then Wii U didn't present like microphones. I mean, they finally ended up using an open mic setting. Like they had this speaker thing that came out. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it really wasn't made to be that online competitive gaming console. And that's what worked against it. That was one, because you had PlayStation and Xbox that was pounding away at trying to make that point. At the same time, what gives the Wii credibility above all is the one fundamental thing that they changed. The whole concept of playing with the controllers wirelessly and everything, and shaking hands and swinging bats and all that, they practically pretty much changed gaming forever. Why? Because now the big three wants to create games like that. They created the PlayStation Move, and they created the Kinect to kind of keep up with that market, and that was a smart move in my opinion. So to go back into why I believe the Wii U will be the most used console this time around is simply because of the actual content on the actual system itself. They have created a monster, and let me explain it like this. First, they did away with the social security number thing. They have actual usernames and everything. That was one. That was a bonus. Two, they upgraded the graphics to contend with the big dogs. Three, they added in another perk, which, you know, like another kind of gimmick. And when I use the word gimmick, don't think I use it negatively. You know, I'm not trying to use it in a negative tone. But they added a gimmick, which was the actual, you know, the Wii U pad. But that's not why, I believe. Like, the reason why is because the service they added was smartly, like it's like playing a game of chess. They were well played because they thought ahead. I guess they learned from the fact that a lot of people, though they bought the Wii, didn't play the Wii as much. Why? Because, I mean, you didn't have to if you had other consoles and other things that provided a better entertainment. But I mean, other than like there are games which are good games that were rare to systems. They're exclusives made by Nintendo. They had really ain't nothing that really drew you to them until now. This service, the Wii TV, and you know all that it does is huge. Why? All right. One big feature is that you can actually connect your Wii U to your cable box. So now you can use the gamepad as your actual remote control to the TV. Now, I don't know if you knew that, but that's true. You can actually use your gamepad as a remote to the TV. And you can watch your TV on the gamepad. And so, here's the thing. And you can have a social network about what you're watching on your gamepad while you're watching the program. So, I don't know if you get it. It connects to your cable, right? Free. It connects to all the channels you have. So think about it like this, right? One, let's talk about the simplest factors, right? You have a remote control. 9 times out of 10, you will lose that remote control. The Wii U gamepad is like this big. You're not going to lose the gamepad. It's an actual remote. You're going to use it. Why? Because it's convenient. They have created a console that is so convenient, whereas with the Wii U, it was more so inconvenient. This console is very convenient. So, I mean, think about it. You can change the channel. You can go on the demand shows and all that stuff. You could watch your favorite shows. You can actually talk about your favorite shows on the Wii U. You could play games. You can, you know, watch TV on your gamepad. It's crazy. They made a system that pretty much becomes a part of your everyday life. And that's the whole thing. That was the smartest move because, yeah, and I believe that because of this move, PlayStation and Xbox may follow suit. So that's why I said possibly for the next gen if they don't follow suit. But for this gen, you're going to use your Wii U no matter what. That's my point. They created a system that no matter what, you're going to use it. Even if you're not playing games. And that's why the word use is important. You might not play the hardcore games you would play on it still because you know you're invested in Xbox and PlayStation. But you will use the Wii U even if you're not gaming. Use is the key word. And it will be the most used console because those gamers who are hardcore are going to want it. Why? Because it's that, you know, due to the fact that it's about to sell, it's about to pop, it's about to sell hard. You know, you want it just to say you got it. Especially due to the fact that even though its price tag this time around might be a little bit higher, it's still kind of cheap compared to the long run. So, you understand how it works? It's going to be crazy. The Wii U is offering good games. And good games, like, they're offering some of the same games you already have, but with special incentives because of the gamepad. But there is one drawback that they don't tell you about. I don't know if anybody caught this, but at launch, the Wii U gamepad, I don't believe, and let's just call this my disbelief. I mean, personally, let's not say I got inside information, but you won't be able to buy a gamepad by itself for a while. Why? Because there are no games coming out in the at launch that will support 2 gamepads. Why? There's no need for it, right? Because you're going to be obsessive with the 1 gamepad. Every game that's going to come out is only going to support 1 gamepad for now. So there's no reason for them to sell you 2 separate gamepads. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you will get it. But then, what are the odds? Nintendo has not shown anything that shows us that we will play with 2 separate gamepads. So if you do have the option of buying the second gamepad, you'll have it for a while with no use. At the same time, the point of this video is to say that no matter what, you will use the Wii U. Anyway, you might disagree with me, and I love it. If you feel like I'm wrong, call me out on it. I'm right here. I love the comment, anything, but I believe I'm absolutely right. Just let me know. Gaming for the Nations Black Bible, Wii U being the most used console. Holla at me.